and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your favorite manifestation coach. All the information from me is below in the description. This is my live, one of the few lives that I do once in a while. And I'm here to answer all the questions that people sent in. If you haven't sent in your question, I hope I have time for your question. I have quite a few, but usually we plan it ahead so that I can schedule myself accordingly and spend as much time as I can on your questions. So let's wait for some people to show up so that maybe I can answer their questions live. Let me play around with these filters. Look at how fun this is. I think this is my favorite. Okay, so today's subject will be how to get rid of the third party, but I'd like for some more people to join us. I'm a little bit late. I apologize for that. My hair took 3 hours to do. Just kidding. Took a little bit extra time. But I have, like I said, I have quite a few questions. I'm going to start going over them in the order that I received them. And there are quite a few. And God knows how long it's going to take me. We're going to try to keep it at an hour's mark, because beyond that, it's even hard for me to continue answering questions, and hard for you to keep watching longer than an hour when you rewind it back. So I'm going to go through the questions and then I will do my subject. So the first one I have is from, my goodness, I hope I can say this, Esros Kesafos. Okay, she's a longtime contributor to my channel. Hold on one second. What if no matter what you try, you can't get the 3P out of your mind? Not even if you take a break from imagining. Yeah, you need coaching. You need coaching. I'm a coach, and we can talk via email. I'll need more specifics, but nothing is impossible, no matter what you try. Well, you haven't done it correctly, is what I would like to say. And taking a break from imagining, it's like saying I took a break from breathing. It doesn't exist. So, okay. Those of you who are in live chat, you guys are going to have to wait for me to answer the questions that I already have. Okay, so just be patient. You can type them, but I will answer them afterwards, okay? After I answer everything I have here. So, okay, Esdras Kesafos says, thousands and thousands of S3Ps. I created at first one and then got rid of her, and now I have many. And I wrote back, this is how powerful you are. So basically, whenever you manifest a third party, it has everything to do with you, has nothing to do with the third party or even your SP. Okay, you manifested something in your reality. This is why it's part of your reality. So even that third party is in your consciousness. They exist in your consciousness. He or she exists in your consciousness. And you created them on purpose to show yourself the contents of your of your psyche, of your subconscious. So that's really useful information. You need to take that to the bank and cash it in, and realize that something that you're saying to your universe doesn't manifest what you want, because you're saying, I never would have liked to manifest a third party. I never would have wanted them to be with someone else. But it's not what you want. It's what you have in your subconscious. So if your subconscious is programmed with ideas like, I'm not going to be chosen, I'm not going to be the only one, I'm insecure, they're going to leave me, start being afraid of competition, as if competition exists, bam, you manifest the third party, okay, and maybe many of them. It's like it's a little bit funny what she writes to me. Well, funny, not funny, but it's funny in the sense that you manifesting it to show yourself how powerful you are. It's just reverse. It's you creating reverse. You're not creating what you want. So reverse engineer it and start understanding your subconscious is giving you a very valuable piece of information, and it's telling you that, hello, how are you? Your self-esteem is in the toilet. This is why the third party showed up. So, getting the third party out of your mind is not the objective, John M. The objective is to work on yourself, to understand why did you create it, because even that third party is a useful piece of information, useful manifestation to show yourself something that you are that powerful is to create a third party. Okay, that's what third parties are good for. So again, they're not there to make your life miserable or, make you feel any less. They're there to deliver a message. That's what it really is. Okay. Okay, and then I have a question from Laura P. Uh, hold on one second. Yeah, that's a really long question. Laura P, I already told you. She asked, quick question. I have a quick question. How to build up belief we are the operant power of our reality? And I answered, this is a whole lecture. This is not a quick question. This is you needing to get into coaching with me to really understand why you don't believe it. So I can give you general ideas about, I'm sorry for the background noise, general ideas about why people struggle, but it may or may not apply to you. I don't know your background history. My coaching is very thorough. I go through childhood, adolescence, college years, everything in my coaching. And then and only then I can be educated enough in your case to give you any advice. I'm sorry, let's wait for the sirens to pass by. Okay. So why you not believing why you're that powerful that you can create third parties and create just about anything, um it's not really a quick question. It's a story of your makeup, of your psyche. So different people don't believe it for different reasons. Sometimes they are brought up religiously, in a very religious way. And, to a lot of people, like some people write to me these scary messages sometimes and tell me, oh, you're teaching people something that is demonic, or you're the Satan and this and that. It's against the law of nature and this and that. Well, for me, it's very sad to see people like that who don't even entertain any kind of other ideas and just are stuck in the dark ages. But a lot of people, even when they want to change and they want to entertain other ideas, it's a little bit difficult for them, because when I say you're the god of your reality, a lot of people struggle with it. Like I said, a lot of people grew up in a religious way, and it's a little bit like, am I even worthy to be that powerful? Am I even, how do I even like put this in my head? And for me, not to brag, but this is why I'm the coach. For me, it wasn't that hard, even though I did grow up in two religions, Jewish and Orthodox Christian. It wasn't that hard for me to get the sense that when I'm really passionate about something, when I really want something, when I'm really kind of like focused in and zeroed in on something, I always get it. I always get it. And so whether you want to admit that you're the god of your reality or not, that's your situation. But there are other components where, for example, a person could have been and living in dysfunction for years and years. And then they say, well, how does this make sense if I manifested X, Y, and Z, like third parties and bankruptcy or divorce or this, that, and the other? Is it me manifesting? How does this make sense? How is the universe benevolent? Well, it is. Well, first of all, it lets you manifest what it is you're manifesting, but it still has a lot of benevolence behind, built in, because it's very hard to manifest something bad. You really have to be persistent, right? So in essence, it all goes back to, yes, you are the God of your reality. You're creating all of it. And the reasons you don't believe it could be innumerable. Okay, so let's go to the Foggy Mountain Witch. I would love it if you could talk about free will, choosing thoughts and beliefs as we please, and believe versus no doubt. Okay. I manifested stuff very fast, 48 hours, and had nothing that I would call belief in it, but I had not a single doubt. Well, if you don't have, there's no such thing as no beliefs, okay? Mountain Bitch. And hello, hi from, yes, hello from Germany. Hi. There's no such thing as no belief. If you have no resistance, it means you believe that it's possible. So there always belief in operation all the time. It's just whether you believe in opposition towards it or for it. But there are always beliefs in operation. There's no such thing as no belief. Okay, so the reason you don't have any doubt is because you believe it. Okay, you really do. Okay. So choosing thoughts and beliefs as we please. I mean, it's in the sentence, choosing thoughts and belief as we please. The free will, you're the only one with the free will in your universe. That's how you create. So you can choose to wake up tomorrow morning and believe that there are no third parties possible in your universe, and the third party will fall off of the planet Earth as if she or he never was there. Okay? You accepted this as a premise for some reason because of your insecurities, and that's why the third party showed up. Okay, it was inevitable because whether it's that third party or the next third party or the million other fucking third parties, it was inevitable because you had a certain construct in your mind telling you you're not that special, you don't deserve showing up for, you don't deserve being there for, you don't deserve to be the only one. That's the only reason the third party shows up, right? So if you're choosing thoughts and beliefs and tomorrow you wake up and start saying to yourself, and parenthesis here, of course, those of you on my channel know that there's no change without beliefs, okay? Beliefs changing. And that has to do fundamentally with restructuring what it is you believe today. So there's no magic wand, there's no quick fix, there's no, like, again, you can manifest something once in a while, you will get a taste of magic and you will manifest something because you have a very little resistance towards it. But here's the big but. This is why a lot of people walk around frustrated, because it happens here and there, but it's not consistent. So in order to just overall change your belief system, you really need to do the work. Okay, there's no magic potion, there's no quick fix. You really just have to be there and process all the emotionality behind the trauma, drama, panorama that happened with you, that keeps reproducing certain situations on a loop. And parenthesis here, I already spoke about it a little bit, but a couple of people in my coaching from YouTube, this has never happened to me before, because I think some YouTube people are really impatient. And it's kind of ironic because they end up watching like these 500 million videos on YouTube without going through. So a couple of people in my coaching ended up just saying, oh, I'm good now. I'm good. In the middle of the coaching, they walked off and said, you know what, I think I'm good. And I told them, look, you're not processed yet. Your beliefs are not processed. They're not cemented into, stability. They didn't want to hear anything of it. And 6 months later, like clockwork, they came right back and said to me, you were right. Because something else happened that was exactly what they used to manifest. So unless you process your beliefs, the old beliefs, the change is not permanent and your manifestations will be a mixed bag. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you're here to change your life for good and not keep going back to different coaches and not keep trying this, that, and the other. So you can be impatient or you can actually complete the coaching and do the right thing by you, and then, continue your merry life. So and belief versus doubt versus no doubts. Belief versus no doubt. When you believe something, there are no doubts. You're a brand new person. This is the entirety of my coaching. I help you become a brand new version of yourself. By the end of our coaching, however long it takes me. Now look, on average, right, it's 2 to 3 months. This is what I always say. Depending on the person's history. Some people's history is a lot more it's denser than the next person, and sometimes it takes me like 5 or 6 months, all right, with certain people, because they've just lived a life that's like it, and it has nothing to do with age. It's just they've been through so much shit that it takes a lot to process all these things and situations. And so it does depend, but on average it's 2 to 3 months. And so for you to become this new version, you really need to show up and do the work. No one's going to do it for you, right? Not a single person under the sun is going to do it for you. And so when you replace the old beliefs with the new ones, you don't have any doubts. There's no such thing. You're just like cemented in your new belief system, so much so that the doubts, they don't exist. They're completely evaporated. You just say to yourself, well, I used to believe this. I'm sorry for the noise. So Manhattan, what can I say? They're so they have become so familiar, the new beliefs, that you say to yourself, wow, I can't believe I used to believe all this other garbage that quite frankly got me nowhere. Those beliefs, those fears, those nonsensical situations that you used to buy into, this is why you ended up where you are today, right? So for you, when you believe something, the doubt isn't there. They cannot coexist. It's either one reality or the other. In one reality, you used to doubt, and now you believe. Now you believe something that you really want to believe. I really hope that, I answered this to the best of my ability. Okay, then we have Vedrana, who asked me a question about how to heal anxious attachment style. I had this in my coaching plenty. It's just impossible for me to do it individually because I have to know your history. So that's kind of self-explanatory. But then she asked me another question: how to manifest beauty and youth. You obviously know a lot about that. Well, I do, but beauty and youth is from within. When you're no longer worried, when you're no longer stressed out, when you're no longer thinking of yourself as a certain age, when you're no longer thinking that time passing has anything to do with how you look, or what other people's opinions may be about age and all this fucking bullshit that people get brainwashed with, it doesn't touch you. And so you decide how you're going to look. Remember, your body is a hologram, okay? You are a hologram with a lot of information inside. And those emotions stored that have beliefs attached to them, what your mom told you growing up, how women age, and after a certain point they're not, in demand, or whatever kind of bullshit that you were fed. All of these situations are present in your body, all of these emotions attached to the beliefs. And so when you work through that, your perspective changes entirely, first of all, on time passing, and just in general of what is possible in terms of changing your appearance. I've done it so many different times without any effort. Right, the other day, one of my clients asked me about weight loss, and weight loss is the easiest thing to do. A lot of people run around, try this diet, I've never, like 3 times in my life, I've gained weight. Like, I'm usually a size 4, which I am, today. A couple of times in my life, 2 or 3 times, I've gained a lot of weight. For me, it was a lot. I went from size 4 to size 12 one time, and then another time size 8 couple of times, and that was a lot. It was a lot for me, but it was because I was going through some things. I was stressed out. I was, just not under pressure. I would say I was stressed out and under pressure. And even though, by the way, one of the times I was trying to become a vegan, and I wasn't eating meat, and I wasn't eating that, this, and the other, right? So it goes to show how food has nothing to do with it. I was depriving myself literally of everything. I was just eating carrots and hummus, okay? All day. And just like, I was dating somebody at the time, and he was like so annoyed with me because every restaurant would go to, he's like, you can't eat anything here, can you? Yeah. Anyway, so it's annoying. Sorry. And so both times, the way I lost weight was I wasn't even thinking about it. Honestly, I just ended up losing it when I stopped stressing. Okay. In the case of being a vegan, trying to become a vegan, now I am, but I am vegan now for a whole other different reason than I was trying to become a vegan then. Back then, I was just trying to lose weight because I was a model, and some stupid photographer told me, you know what? If you go vegan, you're gonna lose weight. Bullshit. I ended up gaining weight. So basically, when I stopped stressing, I started eating whatever I wanted, and just relaxed, and said, you know what, fuck it. If I'm going to be size 8 for the rest of my life, I don't give a shit, right? And so only then, like, through stopping stressing about it, I became my naturally size 4, right? Which leads me to my next point, actually. It ties in really well here. You are always a certain kind of person, meaning you're always the golden Buddha. Oh, by the way, my merchandise is my t-shirts with the sayings that I say a lot. It's now attached to all of my videos. You guys can shop. Let me know how you like it. So you are the golden Buddha the entirety of time, right? The only reason you're not the perfect weight, you don't look the way you want to look, you don't have the money that you want, you don't have the SP that you want, is because you're depriving yourself with some bullshit beliefs, with some bullshit energy that's attached to those beliefs. Okay? Underneath all that bullshit, you are the golden Buddha. You've always been, right? So once you work through those beliefs and really in earnest understand, it's not supposed to be easy, by the way. This is why a lot of people shy away from this work. You really need to show up fucking thirsty for change. If you don't want to do what is required to do, and yes, it's hard work. It's not fucking picnic in Disneyland. It's not a stroll in the park. It's work. Especially if you believed something for a long period of time, of course you're going to be met with resistance. So some people, one or two in my coaching, that's exactly what happened. It became a little too hard for them and they said, I don't want to go there. That's it. That's how strong the belief system is that it stops you in your tracks to change it. Even though you understand logically that it's for your own benefit, your own belief system of the past will stop you in your tracks and say, this is too hard. I'd rather go back and say this affirmation or try this technique and try that technique. Okay, let me know how it works out. Because at the end of the day, again, you will be back to square zero, square one, not even one, but zero. And don't forget I told you so, basically. Because if you want to do something right, do it right. And then move on with your life. So it is hard, but you need to be, I don't want to say desperate because that's not the right word, but thirsty for change, hungry for change, being really inspired by the possibilities that could really take place in your life. So that's what it is. So, Vedrana, I hope I answered you. It has to do with imagination a lot, your looks. And just disregard what people, again, disregard what people say to you about aging or age or the age difference between SPs would be one, or this and then the other. It is literally irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. It's how you want to look. You don't have to eat certain kinds of foods. You don't have to even exercise. I mean, if you like exercising, go for it. I don't. I don't fucking care for exercise. And I'm still the same size. I still look the same exact way as I used to look when I was in my 20s, when I was 20 years old. In fact, I actually look better. So anyway, that's that. Um, okay, we did this. Okay, Mary or Mari asked me a question about maybe you can discuss how the old man struggles to die. Well, I just kind of did, actually. I did. Because that system is so, it has such a hold on you because beliefs die really hard. They do. They do. They've gotten comfortable with you for a certain amount of time. Why the hell would they leave in a snapshot? They want to stay with you forever, but the fact is you have the power and they do not. So if you give away the power to your old beliefs, good luck. It's going to be the same rigmarole over and over and over again until you start taking back your power and saying, you know what, I kind of had it. And you're going to go through this process where they're going to be resisting you. The change will be met with resistance from your beliefs. And you will have to persevere. And you will start maybe believing something new at 10%. 2 weeks later, it may start becoming at 40. And so it goes until you tip it over to 95%. You believe what you want to believe. And only 5% once in a while, something shitty comes up. I mean, listen, it's not possible to think something that you want consistently 100% of the time throughout your day. It's just not normal. It wouldn't be possible. Once in a while, something shitty might creep in into your mind, and that's fine. But as long as you're over the 80% mark, I would say, you're good. There's always room for improvement. You're always kind of like working towards a certain situation. But the thing is, this is why the old man struggles to die, because they've gotten comfortable with you, and quite frankly, you've gotten comfortable with those old beliefs yourself. This is why some people have resistance towards change, because it's comfortable, it's familiar, it's what they know. And who would they be if they change that? It's scary for some people. I don't know, but for me, it doesn't make any sense, because I'd rather be faced with something scary for temporarily and achieve the result that I really crave and want in my life than reside in dysfunction. But that's just me. Okay, I have a couple more questions and then we'll go to whoever's here. Ba, ba, ba. Oh my god, this name is Ebru. Let me just call you Ebru. I don't want to mispronounce your last name. Sorry. Says, I have a question, Anna. A lot of coaches say that your trauma, oh, this is a good one, say that your trauma does not exist in the new version of yourself. Therefore, you only have to step into the new state of being where you are already whole and complete. I would like to hear your take on that because I get a little confused about healing or not healing. Thank you so much. Okay, that's a good one. And I know some coaches say that all you have to do is to step into a new version and that's it. Okay, here's what I would say, darling. If it was that easy, people would do it all the time. And the reason some coaches say that is because they want to deliver some magic trick. And honestly, I know even coaches that I do like that say that. And I don't agree with that. I just don't. Because it's selling another magic trick that doesn't work with most people. This is why most people are frustrated. First of all, mechanically speaking, quantum physics speaking, it's impossible to transition from one parallel reality in which you were the old person to the new parallel reality in which you are the new healed version without letting go of the past. You can't be two people at once, right? So, in order to let go of the past, you need to process that trauma. Oh, the trauma is there. You can say your affirmations till the cows come home. Go for it. Try it out. I'm sure you have already. It hasn't worked, right? This is why. Because people think people are impatient and lazy, dare I say. They don't want to even invest in themselves. And they're looking for some little magic trick that will solve everything. Doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You need to work on yourself. There's no workaround. Once you work on yourself, you can create magic. Yes, a lot of magic. Magic galore. But it doesn't exist without you putting in the work into yourself. And if you went through trauma, let me tell you, I've dealt with a lot of people with trauma in my coaching. Tons. And the only way this is done, the professional, the intelligent, the coherent way, right? And they even rebutted me in coaching and struggled because it's difficult. It's difficult to process trauma. And they rebutted me and they said, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to fuck up my manifestation, some of them would say. I don't want to, like, you're already fucking up your manifestation. So we might as well excavate the trauma so you can be done with the trauma once and for all. They would fight me, some of them. Some of them would understand this is for their benefit. It's not easy to talk about it, which is why you need to talk about it, which is why you need to deal with it, process it, and relinquish it. The very reason, look at, if you have resistance to the point towards your trauma of any kind, and I've dealt with, you name it, I've dealt with it. If you have resistance towards your trauma, it is the very reason you need to address it. Because if you, like, if I went through something and I've dealt with it, I've processed it, and it no longer affects me emotionally, I don't have any resistance towards it. I can talk about it. There's no problem. Don't get affected by it. I myself had, some traumatic experiences in my life. I can talk to you about them all day long. They don't fucking affect me anymore because I've worked on it like a long, long time ago, and I put in the work on myself, and I knew I am never going to move forward in life until I fucking deal with this shit. And I did it. Was it easy? Fuck no. It was difficult. And sometimes I didn't want, like many people, I wanted to push it under the carpet and be like, no more. I don't even want to think about it. And it doesn't affect your manifestations because the universe, like, once again, is a benevolent place. It understands you working through some shit. It's not going to punish you for working through your trauma. Like, how ridiculous is it that some people think that if you're working on yourself, the universe is going to punish you for that? It's stupid. It's absolutely fucking stupid. So if you're looking for a quick fix, you're never going to find it. You might as well process it and then move on to the happy new life. Totally. You heal through, first of all, making good with everything that happened. And I know it sounds like horrible to some of you right now, and it is, but making good in the sense of you're not any less of a person for going through that, or for somebody treating you like shit. It was only because these were the circumstances and that's what happened. Because a lot of people end up associating what happened with themselves. They tell themselves, I must be a bad person since that happened to me. But it's not true. It's just not true. Maybe they created it and maybe it happened in childhood, but somehow the manifestation was there because in the first place there was some kind of dysfunction in that person's psyche. Now, if it happened in childhood, obviously, this was just the circumstance and that's it. Like, you can't kind of like hold a child accountable for creating some kind of ridiculous situation or traumatic situation. But if you are an adult and you're creating some kind of trauma, that in and of itself is an indication that you've initially there was already something that attracted that. And that's really useful to work through. Shoving it under the carpet and saying, hoopla, I'm healed now. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. If it did, everybody would be doing it. And the reason people don't do that is because that's not how it works. It's not how it works. You can't move on to the new without making good with the past and relinquishing it. Period. The fucking end. Okay. And I know everybody wants the quick fix, but again, it doesn't exist. So the perfect solution in life, in manifestation, I should say, is taking the time to help yourself. Okay, taking the time out of the entirety of your life to spend some time going through the garbage. Okay, I say it all the time on my channel. Go through the garbage of your emotions of the past and take it out. Process it and take it out. And you will thank me. And again, some people kick and scream and say, I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about manifestation. Let's talk about the goodies. Let's talk about the tricks that you've got up your sleeve and all this. You know what? I can tell you all the tricks under the sun that I have and how I manifest, and it will mean nothing to you. Because it's like putting like honey into a pile of shit. Literally. Because you're not ready for it. You're not, you're not cleansed of that situation. How on earth are you supposed to manifest something consistently? And like I said, once in a while, magic does happen. It's not like it doesn't, but it's not going to be consistent. It's just not. Or it's going to be minuscule to what you can have. All right? Instead of manifesting $1 million, you're going to be receiving $1 checks in the mail. And you're going to be like, well, that's all I can manifest. No, not true. You can manifest whatever the fuck you want. You just have to be processed of your past to become that new person who manifests anything they want. That's what needs to happen. Okay, I'm going to take some questions now from those of you who I haven't answered. Hi. The witch who came from Mars. I am in the presence of witches here. I love it. Um, well, you can be a white witch too, which is a good thing. Okay, so I mean, a magician is a white witch, actually. So you just use your power for good. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna comment about this. You're the devil. All right, anybody else with the questions? And then we're going to move on to my subject. We're already at 40 minutes, so let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes and then I'm gonna go to, excuse me, my subject. How to get rid of it, the third party. Anybody? All right. Guess I've answered everybody. John M., I hope that I answered your question as well. But maybe this will answer you as well. So, okay. So, in my coaching, a lot of people come to me with these questions about third party. And whether that's a third party, by the way, that you're aware of or that you're not, hold on one second. The foggy mountain witch. So our good old beliefs stay with us till we work through them and solved them, because otherwise they will play out again. Good old beliefs. Well, if they're good, then they don't need to be worked through. But I think what you mean is the old beliefs, the not so good beliefs. Yeah, they will absolutely. Yes, they will stay with you till the end of motherfucking time, until you know how in my coaching, honestly, this I've heard this all over and over again. Like, I would say like 99.99%, the person tells me, you have no idea. I didn't even realize these were my beliefs. Because we do it, we work on the beliefs extensively. Even when you don't think that you're working on beliefs in my coaching, you're working on your beliefs. This is why I cover the childhood, the adolescence, and just about anything that happened up until today. And your boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives. Because that, understand, a coach is just a mirror. I'm mirroring back to you what you've got going on. So but I need to know what happened up until now. And so once I do, then I have a very clear picture of what the belief system looks like. And then we work on it. But it's very useful to actually sit down and take your time and to really realize what the fuck is going on in your mind. But when you go day in and day out, and you don't take the time to help yourself, and you're just running on automatic pilot, you're not even aware of what the fuck you're thinking every single day. You're not. You think you are, but you're not. You're just not. Okay. Oh, Ebru says, thank you. I'm not looking for a quick fix. I want to make it right and permanent, so to speak. Thank you for answering. Sounds true to me what you say. Okay, yeah. It's true because it's true. Anyway. Okay. Let me get, unless somebody has a question for me, I'm going to go into my subject. And so, I realize that I will be interrupted here and there, but yes, all beliefs, especially the non-beneficial ones, like winning the lottery once and losing it all again. Very good example, darling. The foggy mountain witch. Yes, all beliefs, especially the non-beneficial ones, like winning the lottery once and losing it all again. It's an excellent example. Excellent example. Right? So, exactly. It's not like magic doesn't happen to everybody, but in order to keep it permanently and consistently, exactly, like I can give you $1 million today, and you're going to lose it in 1 month. You're going to spend it on stupid shit, or lose it, or ba 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 ba. And then what? But a person without $1 million can create it out of thin air. Do you understand the difference? Because they know, they understand how this works. This energy that they have within is what creates the $1 million and makes it stay. Now, sometimes people make millions of dollars and then they lose it because they get scared of their power or whatever it is they were scared of losing it essentially. And then they realize that they were kind of like afraid of that, and then they gain it back again through working on their beliefs. Okay, so how to get rid of the third party. So, first of all, you know what I'm going to say? Everybody who comes into my coaching, mostly, I would say 90% of the time, people come to my coaching asking me questions about their SPs. Okay, so whether that's a third party that you were aware of or a third party that you were not aware of and they got hot and cold with you, or they said that they need time to think about shit and all this bullshit that they tell you, that literally, it doesn't really matter whether there was a third party or they just got hot and cold with you because they lost interest. You created the situation in order to show yourself something really valuable. And if you rewind back when that situation occurred, I can bet my money that your thoughts, your ideas, your beliefs at that moment in time created that situation, literally created it by thinking things like, I'm not good enough. They're going to leave me. I'm afraid they're going to leave me. I'm afraid they're going to choose somebody else. I'm not that good looking. I don't deserve a fairy tale of a love story. All men cheat. Or this woman can have any guy she wants. Why would she be with me? On and on and on and on. All has to do with self-esteem or the lack thereof. Okay? And so this conversation that you would have before this person left or left you for somebody else is what created that third party. Okay? It doesn't really matter. So you can even compare yourself to that third party and say, well, maybe they have more money than me. Well, maybe they're better looking than me. Well, maybe this and that. No, it's not about that. Many times you look at the third party and you're like, I don't understand. This person is not that good looking or blah, 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 blah. This is what my clients tell me. I don't understand why they would prefer this person over me. First of all, darling, has nothing to do with what the person looks like. It has to do with vibration. That person has figured it out that it's only the vibration that matters. Many people who are in art or actors sometimes are not the best looking of people, but somehow they get the roles. Have you ever seen a couple that looks kind of like strange together and you don't understand? Like, how can this person be with this person? Vibration, period. You think they're mismatched? No, they're perfectly matched. Because the person who in your eyes is less good looking has a strong confidence going on. They know that they're the shit. They've convinced them or worked on their beliefs, in other words, to really hone that self-esteem home and say, I can have anybody. I can have this guy or any guy. And you know how magnetic this confidence is? Forget it. Forget about it. You can be the most beautiful girl in the world. You can be the most successful guy in the world and be fucking insecure. That's not magnetic, that's a repellent. You can be a really good person with good qualities, amazing qualities, and you say, who on earth wouldn't want me? And you don't have the confidence, you don't have the self-esteem or the beliefs about you in check, forget it. Forget it. Just forget it. It's not going to happen. And so the way to bring back your SP or to lose that third party altogether is, first of all, to figure out how you created it. How you even created the situation that they are with somebody else. And why? And when you figure that out, that as third party will disappear like they never were even there. Completely. Because you're the one who created them in the first place. When you lose this like emotional attachment to like the jealousy, the comparing yourself with them, or thinking that your SP is having a better time with them, or that somehow you're unwanted or unloved, or all of these like nonsensical situations, right? This is how I do it in my coaching. Let's just be kind of like a surgeon, you might say. What is the situation? Okay, you lost your guy to some girl, or you lost your girl to some guy, or you lost your girl or a guy, period. Okay, how did you do it? This is how you did it. Okay, so now you can reverse engineer it and everything will be fine. Simple. Not easy, but simple. So this whole fucking minutia of getting into conversations of like who's pretty and who's more handsome and who has more money and irrelevant. Irrelevant. Why don't you focus on what's really important? Yourself. Yourself. The person who's creating all of this. The person who has created all of this up until now. And if you do that, there will never be another third party. If you understand how you're doing it with your mind, there will never be another third party. They will never even have the desire to look at anybody else. Why? Because the program in your mind will change, would have changed. Hey, butterfly, what's up? What's up? You can ask your question if you want. The program changes, and now you're thinking to yourself, please, that third party? Pfft, I don't care. I know I'm the best. I know I'm the golden Buddha. I know I'm the one they want. Even though right now they may be even married to another person. They like ran off and married somebody else. And you're totally unbothered. You're just sitting there like da 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 da. I am the best. I smell so good. I look so good. My business is flourishing. You know, I'm enjoying what I do. They're gonna realize it in 5 seconds that I know I fucked up. In the past, I did some stupid shit where I got insecure, but now I figured it out. I figured it out, and now watch out. Watch out. It's even more of a like interesting story to me when somebody changes and their SP like, whoa, what happened? You're like, what changed? What happened? Like they start checking up on you on your social media and start reaching out to you and freaking out over like you all of a sudden exuding this confidence. Like, where was this before? You know? They're gonna leave that person in 5 seconds. You don't even understand. They are. Okay? Because, first of all, parenthesis here. If you really want to be with somebody, and I don't mean in a desperate way, but you have a connection with them, right? And they have not been abusive to you, okay? That's my prerequisite. And you can really be emotionally abusive too. So that's also abuse in my book. So if somebody's been abusive to you that way, I don't think that that's, the guy or the girl for you, quite frankly. But if nothing like that took place, then, you know, you just created a version of them that preferred somebody else because that's what you instructed them to do. And then you can recreate the whole situation just by being magnetic. Just by becoming magnetic, your true self. And so if you want that person wants you just as much, always wanted you just as much. Sometimes these situations in my coaching, I'm listening to the person's history and I'm like, do you realize this person really wanted to be with you? And you created the situation purely out of your insecurity, purely out of your beliefs. You would have been together right now. But because of those beliefs, you just, the relationship is no more. So you created the separation, you created the third party, and now it's up to you to redo it. But not like in an arduous way. Meaning, you don't call them, you don't text them, you don't call the third party, most certainly not. Okay? You just focus on yourself and you watch the energy change around this whole situation. You don't go knock on their door, show up at their house in the middle of none of this bullshit, okay? You work on you, okay? I'm giving you gold here. I hope you understand, because you can watch all these fucking coaches and all these other fucking garbage that's going on, most of it on the internet, but this is what I'm telling you, it's gold, okay? The only thing you need to do is change your energy. Change your energy from desperate to something that is completely irresistible. Irresistible on another level. Okay? You don't need to do anything other than radiate that energy. Somebody who is confident, secure in themselves, knows exactly how to create their reality, knows how they do create, even on the shittiest of days. Okay? Especially on the shittiest of days, because that's how, you turn shit around in your favor. Somebody who radiates elegance in terms of how they treat people, the business that they have, the new job that they have, the money that they make, labadabadu. Who wouldn't want to be around that person? This kind of magnetism is very attractive, and it attracts everything that you want, your SP, the money, everything. But you're the attractor. You're the magnet. You have a magnet inside your body, your consciousness, that's pulling everything towards you. That's the magnet you have to work on. You either repel or you attract. Capiche? Vedrana, how many accounts do you have? Is Butterfly also your account? Well, that's funny. Maurizio Silvero says, you're very beautiful. Thank you. Okay. That's basically it. Again, it sounds easy because it is once you have done the work on yourself. It's not that complicated. It's really not. So my advice to you, if you're really serious about changing the results that you have right now, stop punishing yourself, stop talking badly about yourself, stop being judgmental about yourself. Be open, be humble, and understand whatever you created, you created. Don't punish yourself for it. Don't be like, I should have known better, or da 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 da. Whatever. No, everybody's learning. On Earth, it's like a school. It's like a gigantic school of manifesting. And even if you fucked up a million times over, you get to create all over again. So if you want something different in your life, stop watching YouTube so much. Seriously. I'm on YouTube just because it was my outlet to people who I really wanted to help. And I knew that this was a sure way to attract those people and put in my perspective towards how other people, I mean, honestly, want you to be hooked on their videos till the end of fucking time. And you know what? That's like being a drug addict. Seriously though. You keep going back for more drugs, more drugs, more drugs. No, cut that shit. Understand what you need to do. You need to get a coach. You need to get a competent coach, somebody you resonate with, who is going to take their time explaining to you what to do and take their time listening to you. And from my understanding, not a lot of coaches at all out there even spend enough time listening to their clients, just really listening to what the fuck they're saying. And I know that because in my coaching, I hear this all the time. Wow, you're really listening. Wow, you really pay attention. What else am I supposed to do? When Well, my audio exchange coaching is most of the people are familiar with, but the way I coach mostly is through audio exchange that you record, and then I record back the reply, like a couple days later usually, or telephone sessions, right? So and of course you have access to me via email and texts. If you know you need to text me something really quick or ask me something, but to listen to what the person is saying, to what they're communicating to you, is of like utmost importance. Because there it is. That's what you're working with. That's the belief system, you know? And so in my coaching, we interact regularly, like I would say 2 to 3 times a week. You can always reach me by text or by email if you have a question, this and that. Or if you're on telephone session plan with me, we interact, I mean, again, 2 to 3 times a week. For an hour, you're on the phone with me and I give you my live feedback of what you need to work on. Everything is in a description. So when you're here with me or afterwards, when you hang up and rewatch this, you need to see what plan is for you. Please read the description. You do need to book ahead. If you have any questions, you can ask them before booking, but you need to book ahead and then email me and we'll start. I can tell you the date that you can start. And also something else I was going to say and now I'm forgetting. Oh, please read the description and sign the agreement. And the agreement is very simple. The coaching fee is non-refundable. I assume that you know my personality, how I am, that I curse sometimes for emphasis. I'm not a psychologist. You don't get to bombard me in the middle of the night with text messages. There is also that the audio needs to be 20 minutes max. And you need to wait for me to reply so that, give me time to go through it. I go through each and every single audio like maybe 3 times. First, I listen to it the first time around. Then I listen to it again. I take notes. And then certain parts I replay more than once. Because I work with people all over the world. I mean, different people, different accents. And really, it's a kind of like a transcript of your audio, but not really. I take notes of what I really feel is important, but I really want to write it down the way you said it, because that tells me a lot of what I need to address and what I need to kind of talk to you about. So if you want to have an introductory phone call, you can also do that. It's on my website. And then you can decide, we can spend 1 hour together talking about what it is you want to work on. And then you can decide if you want to hire me for the month. Again, I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching. You can pay as you go, like monthly. But you really need to be serious about it. You really need to commit yourself to this, like your life depends on it, because it does. It really does. And those people who really worked in my coaching, which are 90% of the time, I would say 95% of the time. There's only a couple that kind of like, when it became a little bit hard, they didn't feel like it was for them. But that's going to happen. But the people who showed up, I mean, really achieved amazing results. Really did. Really, really did. And it's not even, I'm not even bragging on me. I'm bragging on the caliber of people I attract and their work, their commitment. So you have to be committed to yourself. And you have to be honest about everything. You have to be humble and you have to be open. I'm very direct and very kind of like straightforward. I don't think anything else helps in coaching. So I will trigger you. I will definitely trigger you with my truth. But most people know this about me in my coaching, and they actually appreciate that because I can sugarcoat shit for you till the end of time, or I can momentarily trigger you and make you think of things in a different way. And it's all for you. It's to help you, to change you, you know. So okay, let me read what this says. Hello, Anna. You're amazing. Thank you. My SP is hot and cold and hot and cold again. I just can't stabilize the situation for as long as I'd like. What can I do? Well, we just talked about this. You might want to rewind this video. Okay, in essence, something's going on with you that you make him act this way. Some kind of belief system that are in place, systems, plural, that are in place that are, you basically repelling him. You say one day, oh, I love you, inside your mind. The next, simplistically put, okay? One day you really love him. The next day you don't really, you're not that crazy about him. It's all coming from you. It really is all coming from you. So you need to figure out how you're doing it and then work on yourself. And he's just the reflection of what you're doing inside your mind. That's all it really is. Okay? Okay, this was good. Can anybody else has any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up. We're already like over an hour long. Trying to think if I had anything else to say. I've answered everybody's questions. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes if anybody has a question. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up. Yes, I've answered everybody. Yes. Thank you. I look forward to being coached by you, hopefully. Well, don't hope. Oh, here's the other thing I wanted to say really quick. Yeah, some people on YouTube that say to me, you know, oh, hopefully I will get coaching with you. Hopefully this, hopefully that. It's like this. It's an investment. There's no doubt. Okay, it's an investment in yourself. But I think you really need to take this seriously enough that this is to change your life. So where there's a will, there's a way. So if you are saying hopefully, I'm not feeling like you understand how that will, what kind of benefit you will derive from it. And I think, you know, if basically put, if somebody showed up like myself, and not to brag again on me, but I know exactly what I'm delivering here. 15 years ago or something, or maybe even 20 years ago, somebody showed up and offered me to hold my hand throughout the coaching and understand exactly where I'm coming from and basically be there for me and hear me out and help me navigate this manifestational world, I would be like, where do I sign up? I don't care. Where do I have to get the money? I know this will change my life. And I think those kinds of people are the ones who excel in my coaching, because I understand that not everybody can afford it. But at the same time, though, I have to say this, that I don't charge nearly as much as any other coach on the internet. It's true story, especially for the amount of work I do, the amount of time that I spend on each and every single client, and the amount of benefit that you get at the end of my coaching it's extraordinary. It really is. I wish I had a coach like myself, like I said 15, 20 years ago. I would sign on a dotted line in a heartbeat. It doesn't exist on the internet. So while I understand that for some people it's a little bit high up there, it's an investment. You need to see it as an investment, and you need to understand that no coach does this on the internet. No therapist will does certainly no therapist does this. As a coach, really quick, the big difference between a coach, a good coach anyway, and the therapist is fundamental. That I'm allowed to give you my opinion. I'm allowed to in fact, that's what I get paid for. I'm allowed to give you my sincere, straightforward, ruthlessly honest opinion because it's supposed to help your life. A therapist would never do that in a million years. In fact, their protocol is to not do that, to only ask you how it made you feel, which I think is kind of redundant, but a little bit. And this is why people spend years and years in therapy without any significant changes. And I'd rather you spend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me. And even if it goes to like 4 or 5 months, right? I'm talking people with like extensive history or trauma or this and that. Some people have spent like as much as 6 months in coaching with me because they needed it, right? So, but 2 to 3 months in coaching, making that an investment in your life, I don't think that's, you know what I mean? Like that should be your priority because everything else will change after that. And again, it's not even because I'm bragging on me, it's because I understand how to do it. I understand the process. And I wish that, well, I wish more people knew about it, but here I am, trying to help. All right. If you don't have any more questions, I'm just going to wait 1 more minute and then we'll say goodbye. All right. Well, thank you very much for showing up. I really appreciate it. Like I said, all the information is in description. And hope you like the t-shirts. There's also some mugs for chamomile tea and all this kind of stuff. But thank you very much. I appreciate you showing up. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.